I would like to think I'm Eduardo. I would like to have privilege. I'm like really in my head about this. But what up, guys, gals, pals, whatever you want to call yourselves? I am Ainsley. I'm 23. I graduated from college 6 months ago, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Does anyone really? So I'm starting a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is going to be about movies, TV, and pop culture because that's what I got my degree in. And I like to talk about it, but not a lot of people like to talk about it with me. So this is my opportunity to find people that do. But I thought a good idea for my first video is to get to know me a little bit. And the only way to get to know a film buff is to get to know me in 10 movies. So let's get into the 10 movies that I think really encapsulate who I am as a person. I'm staring you down. I'm staring you down. Does it make you uncomfortable? Because it makes me extremely uncomfortable looking at this camera right now.
No, Scooby-Doo, your mom eats cat poop.
My first movie is a classic. If you haven't seen this movie, I urge you to watch it. If you're a Scooby-Doo lover, you know what movie this is. This is the 2002 Scooby-Doo Spooky Island, written by James Gunn. If anyone ever asks me what my favorite movie is, this is what I tell them. I tell them Scooby-Doo, 2002, James Gunn. Not in that order. But I love this movie. It never fails to make me laugh. I can laugh at it every single time because, like, what do you mean? What do you mean you have a call from Mr. Do?
Melvin do?
No, Scooby. I love watching this movie high specifically because I think that's the true way it was meant to be consumed. You know how Sinners was meant to be consumed in IMAX on 70mm? Scooby-Doo Spooky Island was meant to be consumed high. But if you are under the age of 21, or if it is not legal in your state, I don't condone that. I can't wink. Pretend I'm winking. I don't condone it. I would never condone underage drug consumption. No. Why would I do that? But if you happen to be watching Scooby-Doo and you're high, that's not my problem because you're watching it the way it should be intended to be watched. The way James Gunn wanted it to be. But I feel like I am an encapsulation of each character. Like, each character of Scooby-Doo, each member of the gang is inside of me.
What did she say?
Not in that way. Don't get it twisted. But I also just, like, really resonated with Velma because I thought she was Asian and I really wanted Asian representation as a kid, and she was the closest I could get. Have you any other like Wasian or Asian kids headcanon certain characters as being Asian because you lacked representation? Because I did that with both Velma and then Silver Mist from Tinkerbell.
Sorry, my Prada's at the cleaners, along with my hoodie and my fuck you flip-flops, you pretentious douchebag.
My next movie is The Social Network. I can bring up The Social Network in any conversation, whether it's about The Social Network or not. And most of the time it's not. I would like to think I'm Eduardo. I would like to have privilege. Yeah. But I'd also like to be Andrew Garfield. And sometimes I feel like I get fucked over, and sometimes I have to say, sorry, my Prada's at the cleaners, along with my hoodie and my fuck you flip flops, you pretentious douchebag, if you catch my drift. The score of The Social Network I listen to feel productive. Like, if I need to really lock in, I listen to the score of The Social Network. And it does help. It's like when you're driving and you're listening to Coconut Mall from Mario Kart and you like drive 20 miles above the speed limit, it's great. Try driving to Mario Kart music. I really highly recommend that. But if you get pulled over, that's not my problem. Repeat it with me. You can commit crimes if you don't get caught.
Hey! What the fuck? I'm married!
So am I!
What the fuck are you doing? Your husband's dead!
Moving on to my next movie, Silver Linings Playbook. I know David O. Russell is a really controversial man, but if he was not in the picture, this is like an amazing movie. I'm gonna name my mental illnesses Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper pre-facelift. I just believe that it's a really good representation of mental illness. It makes me feel less isolated about my issues and a little more optimistic about them. I think I like those parts of me that are messy and not as clean as other parts. I enjoy those parts of me. And so this is a movie that like really reminds me of that.
Who has the tricked out ride? Who does the sickest backflips?
And then going into my next movie is Lego Batman. I love an animated movie. I know a lot of people, like a lot of adults, don't indulge in an animated movie, but I have a really strong appreciation for animated movies, and that's because I used to be an animation major. Fun fact, that's what I wanted to do for a while. And then I thought it's not as artistically creative as I want it to be. So I left, and now I'm here. But I love Lego Batman. I think he is the most relatable version of Batman to date. I just love that he is so mentally ill in a way that he is so aloof to the fact that he is that mentally ill. He doesn't believe he has any problems. And I would like to think the same thing, but I'm not that delusional. I'm not that delusional, but I love how delusional Lego Batman is. It's like a really fun parody of like all the Batman media that's ever been released. And I think that's how it should be. I think we should poke fun at our source material.
All right.
Oh my god!
What?
Stop! Keep the top up, otherwise the cheese will slide off. Please don't drop my pizza.
Moving on, I'm gonna go into a rom-com here because I can't have a list about me without a rom-com. Because at the end of the day, I'm a little bit of a romantic, even though I haven't been in a relationship for like 3+ years. Oh well. But my rom-com of choice is Set It Up. This is where I discovered Glenn Powell, and my life has forever been changed. Next movie. Next movie. Next movie is another animated movie because again, if you don't love an animated movie, you're not fun. But this one's from my childhood. I loved Tinkerbell as a child, and I I'd like to think that I've grown more into my Tinker Fairy like era as an adult. I think I've accepted that I'm a tinker and I really enjoy the fact that I would be a tinker fairy because I love to craft. I love any sort of craft. I love making things. I love creativeness. I think Tinkerbell is the most creative of the fairies. Again, I do think Silver Mist is Asian. So as a child, I did really like her and I think I wanted her powers. But now I'm seeing it and I'm like, she's so boring. Why did they do that to my girl?
He only likes her because she's old. She's probably like 25! Oh, she's just a badass white girl, you know?
Can you guess my next movie? I don't think you can because it's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think that's a very like basic film buff movie to really enjoy, but honestly, it's one of the most like creatively edited movies I've ever seen. I really loved it, and I think I have a maternal instinct towards Michael Cera that I can't. It's hard to describe how I feel towards Michael Cera, but it's not in any romantic sense. It's definitely more maternal. The cast was great, and it just like inspired me to be even more creative than I am now. Like the potential, my creative potential is nowhere near what I should be because Scott Pilgrim exists.
That is where you've always been wrong about me, Lex. I'm as human as anyone.
But moving on to a more recent movie that's become like a staple favorite of mine. It's Superman. I've rewatched Superman multiple times since it came out this past July, and I'm a DC girl till the day I die. DC is like one of my really important special interests that I enjoy. I've always been a Batman girly, I've always been a Flash girly, a Nightwing girly, but I've never been a Superman girly. And to just because Henry Cavill, like, he's hot and all, but he was just so sad. He was just so sad, and like he was so broody, and I was like, you're even kind of you're just as broody as Batman. Aren't you supposed to not be? Or I think you're supposed to be like the exact opposite of Batman. And it was just hard to watch for me, and I sat through it. I sat through it all.
Kal-El, no!
It was so refreshing to see a smile on Superman's face that wasn't CGI'd. And looked scary. Like Superman was not scary in this movie, and it really gave me an appreciation for Superman and like how classic he is as a character. I wanna be Superman. I think I've never wanted to be a better person more than after I watched Superman. I want to be so punk rock. I want Superman to think I'm punk rock. I want everyone else to think I'm really punk rock. I want the whole world to be punk rock.
If it weren't for what? What? If it weren't for the baby.
After Superman, we have The Hunger Games Catching Fire. If you were not enraptured by The Hunger Games as a child at a too early of an age, I'm asking what's wrong with you now. I got the Hunger Games book in the fourth grade. No, in the third grade. I got the Hunger Games book in the third grade, and I showed it to my mom, and she was like, I don't know if you should be reading that, but I read it anyways, and boy, was I hooked. I saw every movie in theaters. I dressed up as Katniss 2 years in a row for Halloween. First year from the first book, and then second year from Catching Fire. I have a picture for you as evidence for Catching Fire. I just need you to all understand that this movie was so like influential to me. I had a Katniss Catching Fire Barbie doll. Miss her so much. She's probably in a landfill right now, rotting away. Oh well. I think this was like one of the first sort of franchises that I got really hooked on as a kid, that I really hyper fixated on, besides like Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson was another one of those series that I really like took to, and I really obsessed over to a point where it annoyed my teachers and my family.
Go and look it up, the poor guy's head is spinning. Poor guy's head is spinning.
My final movie of this 10 movie lineup, I can't have this 10 movie lineup without a musical. I am a sucker for a musical. I was not a theater kid, but I would like to deem myself as theater adjacent. I was a band kid. Surprise, surprise, props not. I was deep in band. I was deep in the band lore. I was elbow deep in band, guys. I was the band vice president, for God's sake. Like, as a band kid, I was like a closeted theater kid in my heart. And I really took a liking to one specific musical, and that was Newsies. But my movie for number 10 is not the Newsies movie from 1992, even though Kenny Ortega is a legend. It is the Newsies Broadway Pro Shot that came out in, I believe, 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong, editing me, but I would look up slime tutorials for the Newsies Broadway cast to watch that show with the most shaky ass quality camera, because I love to see a paperboy tap dance. That's where I discovered Mike Feist, and I've been a Mike Feist fan since then. I just like I can't get enough of Newsies. There's something about those paperboys that really has entranced me. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening to me ramble for this long. Thank you for finding me entertaining if you find me entertaining. And I would love to see your 10 movies and so I can assume everything about you just based off those 10 movies and nothing else. I've like kind of feared saying this for the last like 20 minutes, and it's like, comment, subscribe. If you liked what you saw, maybe comment, maybe subscribe, maybe like, maybe do all three. If you don't, that makes me sad, but I'm glad that you tried it out anyways. But I'll see you soon. Bye.